What's up, horror freaks? I'm your undead horror guide, Boney Stiff, and welcome back to the Emporium of Dread.
Play with us.
Today we're looking back at 13 of the most iconic scenes in horror movie history, as picked by yours truly. So this should be the perfect time for all you horror gatekeepers out there to get your panties in a twist for me not picking your favorite horror scene. And to you fine students of elitism, I say this: start your own damn YouTube channel, so I can tell you how much of a shill you are. I'm just kidding.
What we need is a female victim of sudden death. Can you do it?
He's gone from here. The evil is gone.
We must create from the beginning. We must build up our own creature. And live out from nothing.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It is entitled Naturam de Manto, roughly translated, Book of the Dead.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Horror is timeless, from the fog-drenched castles of the Universal monsters to the blood-soaked suburban nightmares of the slasher era. Every great horror movie has that one scene, that moment that crawls under your skin, makes your pulse race, and haunts your dreams long after the credits roll.
Clear!
Clear.
Tonight we honor those moments, the scares, the shocks, and the screams that define the genre. Turn the lights low, get your popcorn ready, and join me as I count down 13 of the most iconic horror movie scenes of all time.
Hello?
Why don't you want to talk to me?
The phone rings and horror history is made. Drew Barrymore's brutal and shocking demise set the tone for a whole new era of meta-slasher greatness.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Halloween. You know, the one with the guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters?
Ah, Scream, the film that made us all terrified of getting a phone call from a stranger. Because honestly, who knew if it was someone offering a pizza, or if you were about to become a blood-splattered victim in the first 5 minutes? But let's talk about Drew Barrymore, shall we? She went from the cute little girl in E.T. to being a horror icon by getting stabbed and gutted. Who knew the voice on the other end of the phone could be so murderous? Sure, she's in a movie called Scream, but that shriek, completely justified. Call me paranoid, but I don't pick up numbers I don't recognize anymore. Ever since that one night with my old pal Ghostface. Oh, the trauma. Nancy's peaceful bath turns into a deadly trap as Freddy's razor-tipped glove emerges from the water. Look, I've had some rough bath times, slipped, maybe gotten soap in my eyes, but nothing, I mean nothing, will ruin your R&R faster than Freddy Krueger's glove reaching up from the tub like it's looking for a new pair of nails to file. Seriously, who wants to deal with that? Freddy doesn't knock, he just enters sharp claws in tow. One minute you're trying to relax, and the next you're about to get a manicure you didn't sign up for, with a side of death.
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
A chilling declaration of devotion and doom as Damien's nanny takes a swan dive for Satan. Okay, let's talk about loyalty, shall we? I mean, sure, we all have bosses we're loyal to. But this lady, she jumps to her doom for the kid who's literally the spawn of Satan. That's dedication. Most of us would just quit, but no, she took her loyalty to the extreme. And for what? A one-way ticket to hell. Yikes! It's the kind of workplace dedication that makes you question your 9-to-5 grind. At least she's got her swan dive in. Talk about a high commitment.
Miracle, Francois!
A scientist's experiment goes horribly wrong, leading to that haunting plea as the tiny fly-headed man is about to meet his gruesome end. Okay, folks, you might think teleportation, cool, right? Wrong. Not when it's done by a guy who's just decided, hey, let's put a fly in here too. I'm not saying we all haven't had bad days at work, but when your experiment turns into a human-fly hybrid and you're begging for death, that's some next-level career regret. Here's a tip: never experiment on your own DNA, unless you want a tiny fly head, and a tiny fly life expectancy. That poor guy didn't even get the chance to call in sick. Rough, huh?
I am Dracula.
Bela Lugosi's haunting delivery of this immortal line set the tone for all vampire films to come.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Ah, the original Dracula, and that iconic line that's been requoted more than an Instagram caption. But let's be real. Children of the Night? I don't know, man. If I was a kid in Transylvania, I'd be more worried about the night than anything else. I mean, I love my little nieces and nephews, but these kids? Blood-sucking, cape-wearing, and probably terrible at bedtime. Bela Lugosi nailed it, though. Seriously, this guy could convince a tree stump to join him for a midnight snack. His vampire game is legendary. I guess I should be glad I'm not a child of the night, but I do know one thing. I'd rather be in a crypt than having a midnight playdate with Dracula.
You pound down the stuff like this.
A quiet meal turns into a violent birth, as the alien fetus explodes through Kane's chest, traumatizing audiences and actors alike. Speaking of surprises at dinner, Alien brought a whole new meaning to chew your food thoroughly. So you're on a spaceship with your crew, and things seem fine until someone decides to give birth to a chest-bursting, acid-bleeding nightmare. Imagine trying to digest your sandwich and then BAM! Your crew member's chest erupts in front of you. I bet that's a meal no one will ever forget, and the fact that that happened on set without a single actor knowing what was going to pop out, pure horror genius. 20th Century Fox definitely didn't have a chest-burster clause in their contract.
You saw me standing alone.
Jesus Christ! Practical effects magic. David's painful and grotesque transformation remains the gold standard of werewolf cinema. Okay, I've had some bad mornings, waking up after a night of heavy dreams, but nothing compares to David's transformation. Imagine having to go through that every full moon. One minute you're feeling a little off, maybe a crink in your neck, and the next thing you're turning into a hairy nightmare. This is not the morning you call your boss and say, I'm running late. Got a little werewolfy. Talk about commitment to the cause, though. This transformation still stands as the best werewolf transformation in film history. Move over, Twilight. There's no room for vampires in this moonlight. Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers in a heart-pounding closet showdown that set the standard for final girl resilience. Laurie Strode, the final girl. So resilient, she probably invented the concept. And then there's Michael Myers, the guy who wouldn't even make it as a ghost in hide and seek. So Laurie's in the closet, locked in for dear life, and Michael's just out there trying to break the door down like it's Black Friday at Best Buy. You gotta respect her resourcefulness, though. She uses a wire hanger to get the job done. No fancy weapons, just good old ingenuity. You don't need a chainsaw when you got closet-worthy creativity. A chilling line that defined haunted house horror for a generation.
They're here.
They're here. Yeah, they sure are. And if they're coming through the TV, I'm out of there. I don't care if it's just a kid or a ghost. I'm changing the channel faster than a flickering static screen. Honestly, static TV screens are way scarier than the horror movies I was watching at the time. But those ghosts, seriously, they came up with an agenda and it wasn't to hang out. So while the rest of us are binge watching reruns, little Carol Ann's in the other room just casually inviting supernatural entities to crash the party. Hey, don't mess with the remote, kid.
Begone! In the name of the Father and of the Son!
Reagan's head spinning 360 degrees is the stuff of nightmares and remains one of horror's most shocking practical effects.
Christ, who lives and reigns with the Father and the Holy Spirit. Damien!
You ever wake up feeling a little off? Maybe your neck's stiff or your pillow's too hot? Well, Reagan took that to an extreme. She didn't just wake up with a crink in her neck. She woke up with her entire head rotating like it was auditioning for a part in Exorcist the Circus Edition. Can you imagine how the chiropractor session went down? Yeah, Reagan, I've seen you've been rotating your neck, but let's talk about that 360-degree twist, okay? That's going to cost more than your copay.
Come out, wherever you are.
Jack Nicholson's iconic axe-wielding moment, bursting through the door and shouting, "Here's Johnny," as Wendy screams for her life. One of the most terrifying moments in horror history.
Here's Johnny!
Jack Torrance. Who knew that a man on the edge could turn into such a creepy, axe-wielding, door-breaking menace? This scene right here is what happens when a writer's block meets cabin fever. Moral of the story? If your husband's been in a haunted hotel for months with nothing to do but type all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, and he starts really getting into the all work part, maybe it's time to check if there's a Willy Wonka golden ticket to insanity promotion happening. If you leave him alone with an axe and a typewriter, the only thing he's going to be typing up is a one-way ticket to Crazy Town. Also, if you see your spouse sharpening an axe, just tell him you're going to go out for snacks. Proactive safety, people. It could save lives. Arguably one of the most famous horror scenes of all time, with Bernard Herrmann's shrieking violins making the bathroom curtains forever suspicious. Ah, the psycho shower scene, folks. The one that made us question everything we thought we'd known about bathroom privacy. You ever been in a shower, feeling a little too relaxed, and then BAM! You're stabbed in the back by a guy wearing a wig? Honestly, the scariest thing in this shower is the music. That violin shriek will make you jump out of your skin faster than you can say shower curtain. You'll never look at a bathroom the same way again, and seriously, if you're ever in a shower, make sure that door is locked. Or, just take a bath like I do. Less exposure to surprise attacks. The birth of horror cinema's most iconic monster, with Dr. Frankenstein's exclamation, "It's alive," ringing through horror history.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Dr. Frankenstein, what a guy. In one breath, he's like, I'm going to create life. And in the next, he's shocked that his monster is alive. I mean, this is your doing, pal. Maybe if you weren't so busy making puns about your life's work, you'd have noticed the whole mad scientist vibe. But hey, credit where it's due. That monster had style, tall, green, and looking for a real family reunion. Just don't ask him about Wi-Fi connections. He hasn't got the best signal up there in the lab. Alright, horror freaks, that's a wrap on today's countdown. From head spinning to creepy phone calls, these scenes had us all screaming and shuddering in the best possible way. Now, if you had a blast with the list, you know what to do. Hit that like button like it's a haunted door you've been trying to break down. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more spooky goodness from yours truly. And drop your favorite horror scene in the comments below, because I'm always up for some fresh nightmares. And until next time, keep the lights low and stay stiff.